Thank you so much for meeting with us today.
No problem.
So tell me your name.
My name is Kervins Galad.
And what grade are you in, Kervins?
I'm in 9th grade, freshman.
Okay, and what school do you go to?
I go to J. Christian Bowways High School.
Okay, great. And so we were talking a little bit about you in your small group meeting with Generation Tex and your counselor. And do you want to, so we always do this exercise called high-lows. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay. Like, you want me to explain, like,
Yes, please.
what it's about?
Yeah.
So, like, a high is like how good what good have happened to us, and our low is like something bad that happened to us.
Okay, and so a couple weeks ago, you were in the group and you were talking about your low. You said your low was that you were doing poorly in math, right?
Yes.
And so then we asked you if you wanted to talk about it.
Yep.
And then you explained the situation. So do you want to tell us about that particular situation that day?
Sure. So, like, this one morning I came into class and I sat down and I got my work. So my friend, he was making jokes and laughing. And then when I decided to laugh, the teacher decided to like yell at me, scream, and say, like, gave me 20 points off my test. And I got a little upset of what she had done. And after that, I took my phone out. I started like texting my sister. And then she just took my test and told me to go to the office.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so why were you upset when she took the 20 points off?
Because I already knew that I failed the test and like it already hurt me because I didn't get a second chance.
Because you started with an 80. Once she takes off 20, you start. And didn't you felt that? Was it fair? Did you feel that it was?
Yeah, I felt like I didn't have the same amount like of chances the other person that was screaming or like laughing had.
Yeah, I remember you said to me you didn't think it wasn't equal, right?
Yeah.
Didn't feel equal. Okay. And so I remember that after we talked about that, I asked if we could have a meeting that I could help facilitate between you and the teacher. And we sat down with the teacher and we had a discussion. And one of the things we talked about during that discussion was what her feelings were, right? Do you remember she was already upset? Do you remember why she was upset?
Because like I think she was upset because I'm always like coming in late and like not participating.
Okay, so one, she was upset, I remember, because you were coming in late, and two, she was upset because she felt that you never did your homework.
Yeah.
Right? So when we started by talking about you being late, right? And then we asked you to share your story. You want to tell us a little bit about why you're late, why you can be late sometimes?
Yeah, I have problems like mostly I just have problems getting to school on time and like because I have to like my sister goes to work at like 5 o'clock and I have nobody at home.
Kervins, do you live with your mom and dad?
No, my father's dead and my mom's in Florida.
So your sister is your guardian?
Yeah.
How old is she?
25.
Okay, so she leaves for work at 5, right?
Yeah.
So how do you get up in the morning?
Well, my phone, I put an alarm.
Okay, and then after you get up, what do you have to do?
Well, the regular, take a shower, like, yeah, and then when I get up, I actually like have to call the Uber.
Okay, so you take an Uber to school. Why do you take an Uber to school?
Because that's the fastest way that I could get to school and the easiest.
How far away? I mean, how come you don't get the bus?
Because they said when I went to the main office, they said I lived too far, and like the transfer, there was like no spot that I could go to for the bus to pick
So
me
an
up.
application was submitted for you to apply for transportation?
No, I never got one.
So the office did apply and then it came back that you did not
Yeah.
qualify.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you live, I think I remember, you live 2 miles from the school?
Yeah, about.
But the requirement is you have to be, what, 2.5 miles?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so you take an Uber to school every day?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things was that we shared that with your teacher, and one of the things I remember is that you had shared that with your teacher prior, and I said, you know, that was really neat, Curvins, that you really advocated for yourself, and the teacher had directed you to go to the office and fill out that form about the bus, but that didn't work. I mean, that didn't solve your problem because it didn't work out for you. And so we talked a little bit about your morning, right? We went through the details of what time you get up, how long it takes you to take a shower, how long it takes you to make yourself breakfast,
Yes.
and what time you were calling the Uber. And so what was the solution that we came up with?
Well, we came up with that I had to like call the Uber a little bit more early, like at 7:15, and like get to school on time, so I could get to class and do my work, so
Okay.
the teacher could be happy.
Great, okay. And then the other thing I thought was interesting is that your teacher wanted to keep talking about how you never did your homework. And so then we said, okay, well, let's talk about the homework. And you had, what did you say about the homework?
Well, I said I couldn't get to it at home
Because
like it wouldn't let me sign in.
right, so you were having trouble signing in, and you had already told her that one time
Yes,
before, right?
did.
Yeah. So I thought it was interesting because it was another example of how you tried to advocate for yourself, but it never kind of came to fruition. So what did we do at that meeting to solve that problem?
I had took out my laptop and I signed in.
Okay, and she made sure you could get in. And I thought the
Yes.
other thing that was interesting was that you said to her, "I'll do all my homework," and then she kind of turned around and said, "That's too much, Curvins. Just give me a number. How many?" All of a sudden, she became really empathetic towards you, right? And and then you had promised to do a certain. Remember, she said, "How many? Give me a number." And what did you say?
I said I'd do 5.
Yeah, you said you'd do 5. And did you end up doing the 5?
Yep.
Yep. And how's getting to first period on time these days?
Good.
It's working out better?
And did you get support, technological support?
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Yes, I did.
Yeah, we figured out how to, yeah. So, so how's everything going in that math class?
Well, I don't know yet because she haven't been here.
Okay, but do you feel like do you feel like, oh, I was gonna ask you also about the 20 points she took off. We asked, did she ever go through and take off that 20 points?
No.
No. And do you think that was because we actually had the meeting with her and,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, and told her? So, okay, so overall, was being a part of the group that we do with small groups, do you think that's helpful in helping you solve your problems and giving you the supports that you need?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, have a great day.